We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now, our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World and a Cruiserweight Champion.
I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
I'm Rob.
And this is episode 125 of Beyond the Ropes. We are BTR Pro Wrestling Talk. I am your host, Ethan Ortiz, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, and of course, our producer, Rob Flores. You can follow me on Twitter at EthanMV95. You can follow James on Twitter
at JStar. I got excited because, actually, I didn't get excited. I got confuzzled. You want to know why, Rob?
What?
Because what I really thought and what I was really hoping for today on this show, on what did you say, episode 215, that Ethan was going to own it. And he was going to say both his Twitter and his Instagram, but he didn't. So I'll do it. I'll say mine because I'm proud to say it. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JHW Reporter.
You can follow Rob at...
Of course, in uniformity, we got one username here. It's Rob Flores Media.
I don't want people following me on Instagram. That's fine. All right. And, of course, this is episode 125. James, not 215. We're not there yet. Getting a little ahead of yourself.
We can start the show over.
Ethan Dose usernames.
What happened?
Ethan Dose usernames.
Yes.
Dose handles.
Those handles. There we go. Technically, my Facebook is completely different as well. So if you want to do 3 handles, that's fine.
Okay. Wait. Since we're kind of being honest here, I think I think my Facebook's different than my other ones. I think.
So we have a Rob Flores Media page on there.
I can make one. I can make it, man.
Yeah, that we could say, we got multiple, one name,
Technically, my Facebook, I do have a Facebook page that is Ethan Envy.
If you guys are smart and very social savvy like I am, and don't forget, this is a pro wrestling talk show, but we're trying to promote the show and promote the tweets we have about the show and about wrestling. So you can just follow me on Twitter, and if you click the link, you'll find everything you need to know about me, and I'll be more than happy to direct you both to Ethan and Rob on any platform.
There you go. You can follow the show at Real BTR Radio, as well as YouTube. Just search up Beyond the Ropes. Of course, we are at home because of COVID protocols and everything. So we hope you're safe. I know Rob looks like he's in a studio. I don't believe it for one bit. But I am in the middle of a ring, by the way. So
yeah, totally factual. But yeah, we went through a lot of back and forth there right now, and I think a lot of it's just because we miss each other. And hopefully 2021 will bring forward a chance for us to get back in the studio together so I can see all of your smiling faces.
I can't stand either one of you. All right. So let's get into today's show. New Year's Evil, NXT New Year's Evil has come and gone. Let's talk about it. It kicked off with a special match between Damian Priest and Karrion Kross, who just returned from injury. This was a fantastic match, a great comeback for Karrion Kross, who ultimately defeated Damian Priest. And it should be noted, rumors are going around, Damian Priest could be on his way up to Raw or SmackDown. That's right. Some big news there.
Wow.
He's ready.
To be what? A main card? Not main card, but like a main eventer?
Apparently he was going to be Kevin Owens' best friend the other week. But according to Dave Meltzer, anyways.
That's the word, huh? He was almost already on the show.
That didn't happen, though, because it didn't really make sense. So
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So it'll be interesting to see where he goes from there. But I think he is done in NXT for now. Hopefully they use him well. All right, next up, we had an NXT Cruiserweight Championship match between Santos Escobar, the champion, who James
The
completely
cruiserweight
forgot his
champion.
name. Yes, cruiserweight
Yeah,
champion.
the cruiserweight champion. I'm
Taking-
aware of his name. I just wanted you to speak correctly and properly of him and his title. He is the NXT Cruiserweight Champion.
Correct. And his opponent, Grand Metalik. Great lucha match. Ultimately, the champion retained. And yeah, hopefully when lockdown is over, we'll get to see an NXT UK champion, Cruiserweight Championship versus NXT Championship battle going on, because there are 2 NXT Cruiserweight titles roaming around there. One was being, Jordan Devlin.
Oh, right.
He still has that title.
Right. That's right. And that's why they had the tournament, and that's why he won it. Okay. So are they calling him interim, though, or no?
No, they dropped it a long time ago. So.
But when Santos comes back, not Santos, Devlin, when Devlin comes back, does he have the belt still?
He's been, I don't know if he's defended it, but he's been carrying it and been acknowledged as Cruiserweight Champion in the UK.
Oh, so I mean, he's still on TV. Like, I mean, he's not, okay.
So he's just unable to travel to the States, obviously, because there are restrictions. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. We did get another fantastic match, a last woman standing match between Raquel Gonzalez taking on Rhea Ripley. This was fun. They battled all over the Capitol Wrestling Center, and ultimately we got to see a choke bomb through the stage where Raquel Gonzalez picked up the victory.
Yeah.
And this may be Rhea's swan song in NXT as well. She could be moving up to Raw or SmackDown very soon.
She had a high spot. She had a high spot of her own. Rhea did with the with the DX chop, and then the I don't know if it was the frogs. Oh, it was the swan. That's right. She did do a flip there.
She also locked up Dakota Kai in a locker.
I heard that. I heard about it. I saw the tweets, and even Triple H was concerned, but not willing to check himself, I guess. And Raquel was, I guess, 2 hours after the fact was I guess Dakota was
tweeted from the locker.
in the locker, and then 2 hours later, Raquel said she was going to get her. I don't know how big the building is or the locker room is.
She forgot about her.
Raquel was on the way. I don't know if she ever actually recovered her or not.
I hope so.
She might still be in the locker. We got to check.
But fantastic match, nonetheless. We got to see The Way, a.k.a. Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Austin Theory, and Indy Hartwell kind of celebrate Johnny's curse-breaking moment, because he successfully defended his NXT North American title. So they were interrupted by Shotzi Blackheart, who then unprovoked attacked Austin Theory with her tank. Let's just say it hit him in a spot you don't want to be hit.
Okay.
And then Kushida came out, and we had an impromptu tag team match between Candice and Johnny versus Kushida and Shotzi. It was about a 10-minute match. Fun match, but ultimately Kushida pinned the champion. So a potential future opponent there.
So we had 2 Gargano matches. Is that correct? 2 Johnny Gargano matches?
No, I'm sorry. He defended the title the week before, last week. So
okay.
they were just celebrating.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
NXT TakeOver was announced. It's happening on Valentine's Day.
NXT TakeOver is happening on Valentine's Day. Is that the day before the Royal Rumble?
No, it's on a Sunday. It's February.
Oh, wait. The Royal Rumble's like a few weeks.
Yeah, end of January.
No. I'm just trying to think. Hold on now. So are they not doing a TakeOver? Wait, January,
no, they're not.
March, April. So WrestleMania is usually like April 5th.
They'll probably do a TakeOver.
Do you think they do another TakeOver before WrestleMania?
Weekend of Mania, I think so.
They do them that far, that close?
Every 2 months.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense because they're on like Takeover 30 something already, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember the first one. Like
Me too.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
People have been speculating this should be called St. Valentine's Day Massacre. So maybe.
It could, but you got to be careful with something with the name like that, especially in this
Mm-hmm.
time period. Going back though, real quick, we talked about the Rumble and Rhea Ripley. And there was another name I think you mentioned as it might be in someone else's last show too. Oh, Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can see Rhea being in the Royal Rumble. I think you kind of mentioned that. I can see that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I was looking at my predictions to see that we might get into a little bit later, and that might change some things. But yeah, I think Rhea. I mean, she's kind of had her moment in the main event. No, on the main card over the last year or so, or I guess maybe has it been 2 years now? No, last year because when she was against Charlotte at WrestleMania. But yeah, going back to Damian Priest real quick, I don't know. Maybe he's in the Rumble. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we had a stellar main event between Finn Balor defending the NXT Championship against Kyle O'Reilly. These two have amazing chemistry. There was potential injuries. I know they both went to the hospital after.
Now, are we talking about storyline injuries or real injuries? Because it sounds like Finn Balor returned the favor.
Almost. He was working on O'Reilly's jaw.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's broken in any way.
Okay, because I know he went to the hospital to get it checked, and I think Finn Balor went to get his hand checked. I think is what I saw. His arm. Okay.
His arm was being worked on. Okay. He did get like a cut on the side of his head.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's bleeding. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was bleeding. Right. I did see that photo. Yeah.
Ultimately, Finn ended up retaining the title. So
I think just the Undisputed Era, they get these title matches and they just don't do anything with them. They just waste them. And I think NXT needs to move on from these guys. You know what? They had something with Adam Cole. He held the title. He had a good run. Eventually drops the title, and he's never to be seen in the world title picture again, as far as I've noticed. So, I just think the Undisputed Era needs to go. 2021 is the year. Undisputed Era is gone, or at least broken up. And we see someone maybe go on the main card. Maybe not all of them, but at least one of them. And I may know who that is later on in the show.
So Adam Cole and Roderick Strong still need to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
That's right. The Dusty Rhodes Classic was announced, both a female and a male tournament, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the word on the female
tournament.
Street.
The women's tournament was officially announced for down the road. It's going to happen.
So, but not at the same time?
No.
Okay, because I thought maybe this year they were just not going to do a male tournament and they were just going to do the female Dusty.
The men's has officially began by the time this airs. Okay. But yeah, so Undisputed Era are going to win the Dusty Cup. Everything's going to be fine.
So they realized that Adam Cole's a bum, taking him out of the singles picture, and they're putting him in a tag team with Roddy Strong, I believe you said.
Adam Cole has won every title in NXT already. He's got to win the trophy to complete it.
Well, you could put it that way, or maybe NXT and WWE and Triple H have come to their senses and realized the Undisputed Era doesn't bring in the money that they thought they would. I mean, we can get in the ratings right now if you want, but whether Undisputed Era is there or not, they haven't improved the ratings at all.
Talk about the ratings.
Okay, I'm glad you brought it up. Well, I guess I brought it up. But so we talked about the main event there, obviously with Finn Balor and whatever the Undisputed Era guy's name is. I just like getting a reaction out of Ethan.
Cool
Anyways,
Kyle, all right, that's Cool Kyle.
Cool Kyle, as he's known as, apparently, at least in Ethan's household. But So NXT did come up on the short end of the stick in the ratings once again. They did have the New Year's Evil special or pay-per-view, I guess you can say. I don't think the length of the show was any different, but 641,000 for them compared to the 662,000 for AEW, which did feature Snoop Dogg. We can maybe get into that in a little bit, maybe in the next segment, maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. I know Sasha Banks did critique the splash of Snoop Dogg. I'll have to go back and check that out and give it a critique on my own. Not that I can do it any better, probably. But, yeah, so AEW does come out on top once again. The numbers were rather low this week for viewership, considering things that have gone on over the past week or so in Washington, D.C. I'm sure everyone is aware of what's going on. And, yeah, we'll just kind of stick to pro wrestling in the meantime. But those are the ratings. So, again, 662,000 puts AEW over the top once again over New Year's Evil and NXT. And the Undisputed Era, if I'm not mistaken, who are just bringing the show down, if you ask me. But there's another team that's kind of been, working their way around the industry, and that's the return of, at least to some degree, the Bullet Club, who have made appearances on Impact and now AEW over recent weeks. If I'm not mistaken, Carl Anderson has a NXT title, or not NXT, excuse me, a Impact Championship match coming up with Rich Swann. I believe I saw a tweet about that. So, we'll see what happens with the Undisputed Era, or not the Undisputed Era, the Bullet Club. There's too many factions going on right now in wrestling. They all look the same, Ethan. No?
No. I don't think you can say
Wasn't
that.
Wasn't Adam Cole in the Bullet Club? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, he was a focal point. So was Finn Balor, the original founder. And AJ Styles.
Okay, wait. Can we talk about it for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the actual founder of the Bullet Club? Was that AJ? Was that Finn and Luke?
Finn and Carl. Finn and Carl.
Finn and Carl. And then Luke comes on at what? Was this at not long after?
Point.
He was,
mm-hmm.
And then
Finn leaves. Out. AJ arrives the same night.
That's right. Okay, because they turned on Finn.
He just left. They didn't turn on him.
Yeah,
they turned on AJ.
That's okay. They turned on AJ, and this is when Adam Cole joined, or was already in, or
he might have already been in at some point.
I think I heard he was in, and then whatever. And the reason why I asked all this is because there was a recent picture. I forgot who posted it. It might have been Carl Anderson or somebody. But there was this black mark going across the side, down the middle of a photo, and I believe it might have been AJ Styles or Adam Cole or something. Mm-hmm. And I think the point of the picture was just to show the guys from the Bullet Club who were in that photo, who were also, I think, either on Impact or AEW, not more so anyone who was in WWE, if I'm not mistaken. Did you see that picture at all, Ethan? You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I think it is.
Yeah, it was just very weird that they had the mark down the middle. So that was fresh in my mind. That's why I got them mixed up. Again, whatever. One comes in, and the Undisputed Era is out the door.
Okay, well.
Did I make you mad, Ethan?
No, you didn't.
Did I get under your skin a little bit?
On the next segment, we're going to talk about champions.
Okay.
We're going to talk about who we think is going to end up 2021 as a champion.
Can I give you an early prediction? Sure. I don't see the Undisputed Era in any of it. At least not on NXT. But we'll have more after this break.
We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome to a very remote and virtual episode of Beyond the Ropes. We are Pro Wrestling Talk. This is BTR. Said that out of order, but that's all right. This is episode 125. Of course, I'm your host, Ethan Ortiz, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, and of course, our producer, Rob Flores. You can follow me on Twitter, and only Twitter, because I don't want you following me on Instagram. I won't accept your follow. You can follow me at EthanME95. You can follow James at
JHW Reporter.
And you can follow Rob at
Rob Flores Media.
Now, hold on a second. Can you imagine being a heel on your own radio show?
I don't know. You're the one that was hating on
You're the
earlier, so
no.
you're
You're
the
the
ultimate
heel.
heel.
You're the heel over here, talking like you're Freddie Blassie over here with I ain't gonna do this and I ain't gonna follow you back, and
Mm-hmm. No, I don't follow people back on Instagram.
you don't gotta get hot about it. I follow everybody back, most people, as long as
Mm-hmm.
you ain't wild. But go ahead.
All right, we're gonna talk about champions. Who we think is gonna end up as a champion by the end of the calendar year.
Okay.
Should we start with AEW?
Okay. Ooh, now you just got me all like. Okay, so I just want to throw some stuff out here before I look silly doing all this. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not taking into account. I'm just now thinking about this. Of people who made jump shows, drafts, and another Raw, SmackDown draft or whatever. I'm not taking any of that into account. Are you guys taking any of this into account?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Because I think, maybe the Undisputed Era just has enough, or they just get fired. And they just get sent to AEW or Impact.
You see
I'm just not taking that. I just want you to know I'm not taking that into account.
Okay, AEW World Champion. James, who do you think is going to end up with the AEW World Championship?
You know what? I think MJF is gonna be the one who gets it. I don't know how much time we're gonna spend talking on a lot of these different champions, but if you consider the angle now that's going on with Jericho and his group and MJF being a part of that over recent weeks, probably maybe a month or so now, I think maybe we'll see Jericho take some time away, maybe take some time away, maybe come back as a babyface at some point, and MJF kind of take over that group maybe. And maybe win the world title.
Rob, do you have a guess?
I haven't thought that far ahead as to all the belts, but in general, I predict Brian Pillman Jr. gets some kind of gold.
Okay, I can see that. That's respectable. I didn't think about that, but I think he's a guy who maybe is a little under the radar. Maybe I know he's kind of in the mix. He's
in a tag team right now.
He's in a tag team. He's showing up. He's on the show. I mean, that's half the battle, just getting on the show. But I think he does get some gold at some point. I mean, like you say, he's in a tag team. Maybe he does win the tag team championships or something like that. We'll see. I think there's still a lot of unknown with AEW. So you never know who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. Injuries can happen and whatnot. But yeah.
My prediction is Hangman Adam Page
for the for the AEW
World Championship. I think he'll defeat
that.
Omega for the title at some point, maybe in the summer,
okay.
And he'll carry it for a while.
So you're not expecting a long run here, then? I mean, I guess 6 months, whatever. We could say 6 months or however long for.
I mean, he could have it until the fall. He could have it till the fall, but he'll lose.
Now, how long did Moxley have it? About a year,
months?
Right? How many? 8 or 9? Okay.
Actually,
because I just kind of feel
10 or 11.
Because I kind of feel right now AEW is just trying to build the some credibility and get some long runs out of some guys maybe while they're around still, like while they're just kind of going right now. They're not doing a lot of stop and starts, so we'll see. But I think Page is a good guy to hold that title at some point.
TNT Championship currently held by Darby Allin. I'll go first. Orange Cassidy.
You know what? Count me in on the Orange Cassidy bandwagon for that one. And you know why? So I was watching the tribute show, right? And I was talking to my brother about it. And I was really excited. It was the main event, right? That Orange Cassidy was in for the tribute show. And you know what sold me on Orange Cassidy? I remember we had talked about it when we were in the studio, and then you kind of showed some highlights of Orange Cassidy. But when he does that little hand thing, with Brody Jr. and he did like that, a lot of people, they do the fist bump and all this stuff, but he did this lazy thing, and I was like, oh, that's great. I don't know. I popped for it though. And just watching him in the ring, I think he's definitely in line to be a champion at some point this year.
Rob, do you have any?
I'm very simple. Very, very simple. It's the little things, Ethan. It's the little things.
Rob, any guesses on a TNT champion? This is like their mid-card title.
And don't say Sting.
I think this belt will be defended in Freebird style with Christopher Daniels' group.
Okay, why not?
I can
Yeah.
see Scorpio Sky hold it. He's in the group.
Okay.
They kind
Do you
of
think he breaks
pushed him.
away from? You think he breaks away from the group?
They've kind of kept him in a singles run
Okay.
as of late. I mean, he's still involved in the
It's
group.
more of a stable than a tag team kind of deal
It's
with
a
at least
trio.
with yeah, right. Okay, I can see that.
AEW World Tag Team Champions. I've got FTR winning those titles back.
FTR, yeah, I mean that's a good possibility as well. We just talked about Kazarian and Daniels there, right? So they can be in the mix as well. I don't know, have they held gold at all during their time in AEW?
Scorpio Sky and
Okay.
Kazarian were the first AEW World Tag Team titles.
I guess I'm kind of surprised that they didn't give it to Daniels and Kazarian, but whatever works. What is the deal with the boys from Rancho Cucamonga? Why am I blanking on the name? The Young Bucks.
They're the current champions.
They are the current. Okay. Because I think last time I remember the tag team scene there was like 4 teams in the mix. It's kind of like, is it kind of a healthy division right now?
That's probably their strongest division.
I was gonna say because I know FTR is there.
Jurassic Express.
They got them. They got some other guys.
Brian Pillman and his partner, Griff Garrison, I think his name is. They're the Varsity Blondes.
Okay, right. I remember hearing that name. Mm-hmm.
Private Party.
Private Party.
By Matt Hardy. You've got Santana and Ortiz from Inner Circle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so they are pretty stacked at tag team. Okay, so that's why. Okay. I'm kind of waiting to see, at some point, do we see the Young Bucks and maybe not so much Cody, but maybe the Young Bucks take some sort of backstage role. But, I mean, if they're still flipping and flying, then who knows?
Any guesses, any predictions?
No, I mean, we're talking about a year from now. So the thing with a lot of this year from now stuff is there's a lot of growth, like an opportunity for people to kind of come up. So it's easy to say names that are in the mix right now, but who knows how long things and runs and different scenarios will hold up over a year. But I think FTR is a safe bet. I think, they're in it for the long run. And they're one of the hotter tag teams, obviously. So yeah, I'll go with FTR too. That's a safe bet, I guess.
Rob?
I think Enzo joins AEW and does something there.
Oh, so we're talking about tag teams now. So does that mean Big Cass comes as well? Is that what are you stirring the pot here, sir?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Enzo and Big Cass too are probably on the bad list or on the blacklist for a lot of wrestling companies at some point, or at this point. So maybe never say never in wrestling, but that's a long shot, Rob.
AEW Women's World Champion.
I have no idea because don't they just put the AEW Women's Champion on there more than the AEW Women's Champion? Wasn't that not a thing?
I mean the NWA.
Yeah, the NWA Champion was on there more than the AEW Women's Champion. Yeah,
she still is.
So I don't know.
I've got
Jordan Grace. I say Jordan Grace leaves Impact, goes to AEW, and
her contract is coming up.
There you go. See, I knew that. Big braining over here. And I mean, I think that kind of plays into what I said last week about those predictions as well on last week's show about maybe AEW or NXT Impact getting absorbed into AEW. So maybe we see Jordan Grace there that way or with the contract situation.
I've got Britt Baker winning the title.
That's not a bad pick either. I know she's been on the show quite a bit. She was part of the tribute show as well. So
she's a focal point in the women's division. So think about her. All right. Next up, Impact.
Okay. Again, so I'm just gonna start off by saying again.
These are blind predictions for the most part.
These are very blind predictions for the most part. And a lot of it's just because I don't know who's going to be there, what's going to, you when we talk about AEW guys, as they kind of figure out their roster, some guys might be leaving that. Maybe they go to Impact, assuming Impact's around and not absorbed into something like a WWE or an AEW. So we may see some WWE guys, maybe it's a Zack Ryder or somebody, who knows. We don't know. So these are very blind predictions here.
Impact
Yeah.
World Champion. I've got Ace Austin. He's not
Ace
there
Austin.
yet. Got until
Wait,
the end
where
of the
is
year.
he at?
Impact. I mean, he's
No.
there, but I mean, he's not.
Oh, he's not in the
main event yet.
I was gonna say, isn't he? Yeah. Well, I was gonna say Moose because you're saying Moose carries that TNA title around, and maybe he actually wins the dang title. But maybe Ken Shamrock. I don't know if Ken Shamrock has another year in him. I mean, who knows? I mean, he's on TV now. You know, he's kind of in that main event angle more or less. So why not? I think he's in their Hall of Fame or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Wasn't he one of the? Yeah, and the Rock put him over. I mean, not that Ken Shamrock needs to be put over, but why not? Moose or Ken Shamrock? I don't know.
Rob, who do you got?
It's very hard to determine. I'm just going to say that at some point, the world champ will be managed by Father James Mitchell.
You know what? You just never know. It could happen. You don't know. You know.
The way Impact is running their things right now,
This is
that's
what
a possibility.
Hey, when I was hear me out now. Hear me out now. You think Rob's throwing out some weird stuff? I kind of thought maybe for a second I was gonna just go on a limb here and say maybe Tommy Dreamer ends up with the Impact title by the end of the year. Who knows? You don't know. So I think that's kind of, you know, why not?
The Knockouts champion.
The Knockouts champion. I don't know if Jazz is around for another year, but maybe Jazz is in that mix. I know she has a match with Jordan Grace, I think, coming up here in the next week or so. So maybe that's
We'll go with Rosemary.
Okay, isn't she under oh no, she's not. Is she
Not
not
anymore.
with James Mitchell, is she?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I mean, they've had
okay.
They've been in segments together and stuff, but they're not like
okay. Because I do remember the name, so okay, that works.
Impact Tag Team Champions. I'll just go with Gallows and Anderson.
I was gonna say maybe just Gallows and Anderson at this point. I mean, what does the tag team scene look like there? I don't know.
It's not terrible, but they've lost. They lost a tag team. I think.
I mean,
two of them went to WWE. They signed with NXT recently.
Okay.
They have Motor City Machine Guns right now.
Yeah, that's right.
The North just split up. I think they were like the longest reigning tag team for a while, champions. So probably it's gonna be Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, when they made their return there, they were kind of the. Or I don't know about return, but when they got there in 2020, it was kind of like that was the headline of the tag team division. So sure, other people will hold it throughout the year, but yeah, I mean, if Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are around, then yeah, I think they'll be in the mix, if not the champion, by the end of the year.
X Division champion. I'm just gonna go with Chris Bay. He's been in that division for a while, so
I'll say Rich Swann because I think Rich Swann needs to be a champion at in some capacity if he's not the world champion again. I mean the X Division title.
Impact Women's Tag Team Champions, or Knockouts Tag Team Champions. They're just crowning them again. I think this week. So
you said this was a new championship, right?
They were reviving them.
They're reviving them. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. Maybe the beautiful people come back. I don't know. I know one of them, Madison Rayne, is doing commentary, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where Angelina Love is, but why not? Or they can get, who do they have? Von Erich, I think, was in there. She was part of the group at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't impressive, I know, but.
I'll go with Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steeles, I think.
Okay.
Team. So yeah. All right.
I mean, that's the other thing with the predictions is like you're gonna get random people paired together, and not just
Their
Impact, but
team.
in right. But I'm just saying that's the whole thing. You can see a Cesaro and a Sheamus come together and be this tag team, and it works out. You know, after having a 6-week program of going against each other. You know, so there's probably teams we don't even know about or contenders we don't even know about in a lot of these title pictures. So.
All right, and we'll start with the NXT UK Championship. I've got Ilya Dragunov, who recently challenged Walter. He lost, but I think he'll be the champion by the end of the year.
Who was that?
Ilya Dragunov.
Oh,
He's Russian.
Yeah. Okay. And you
Really
think they're gonna win what title?
The NXT UK Championship.
The NXT UK Championship. Okay. So, you think he's gonna beat Walter?
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this a big enough dude to beat Walter? Because Walter's not.
No, but he took it to Walter. You gotta watch their match.
Okay. Is this the big match that? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was a really solid match.
I think Walter ends the year with the title. That doesn't mean he won't maybe lose it.
Okay. You think he could?
He might lose it, but I think he gets it back if he does stay in the UK and not move on maybe to the main roster or to NXT in the States. So.
All right. And Rob, do you have any predictions before we go to commercial break? NXT UK champion.
Oh, never mind. I forgot. I was going to say that they need to redeem the fact that Tessa has been, I guess, the more recent woman to win a guy belt. And since, things kind of went, that maybe a girl, again, has to try to win a guy belt.
An Impact, sure. I can see that happening. But all right, we'll continue with the NXT UK division when we return right here on Beyond the Ropes. We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Of course, we are doing this episode of Beyond the Ropes virtually, safely at home. Before the break, we were discussing who we think is going to be a champion at the end of 2021. We're currently on the NXT UK division. Because we are a little short on time, we're going to speed through this division. I don't think you guys really have any predictions for this, right?
Not too many, no. It's just kind of it's Walter for me.
Okay, so NXT UK Women's Champion, I've got Piper Niven. She recently challenged for the title. NXT UK Tag Team Champions, I've got the team of Pretty Deadly. That's their team name. They seem like an interesting tag team. And NXT UK Heritage Cup holder, I've got Joe Coffey, who's a member of Gallus. All right. Let's do NXT. Let's start with the NXT Cruiserweight Champion.
Okay. I can guarantee you it will not be someone from Undisputed Era.
Okay, that's good.
Or maybe could it be? Could it be? You think so?
Maybe.
Is there anyone who qualifies as a cruiserweight on the Undisputed Era? So is this still the 205?
Mm-hmm.
Is it still? But it's not called the 205 title,
no,
or never was.
No, it never was.
Okay. Oh, that's right. The show. Okay. I don't know. Maybe Drew Gulak gets back in that mix. I don't know. What is Tony Nese doing these days?
He's just floating around.
Yeah, because wasn't he the champion? Who maybe Tozawa gets back in there. Not because is that my?
Yeah, maybe Tozawa.
The one that would Tozawa. Yeah, Tozawa. I was like, who's Tozawa? Okay, maybe just some of the guys who just kind of been floating around on that 24/7 championship scene, just to kind of. Maybe those guys kind of get back in that mix a little bit. I don't know. That one's kind of hard to say.
I've got Jake Atlas, who is currently kind of building up there, so in that division. So
I'm not against it. Okay.
Rob, do you have any guesses?
I think it would be interesting to see someone who held the old belt try to challenge this one.
Okay.
Hey, pause. Wait a minute. Where's Spud at now?
He's in the tag team division. He's going to be in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Okay. I was just making sure because I remember there was a whole thing with him, and then after the tournament happened,
he's with Killian Dane.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. NXT Tag Team Champions. I've got the Undisputed
Killian
Era.
Dane and Killian Dane and you think the Undisputed Era is still going to be hanging around at this point next year? Okay.
If they're still here, then sure, yeah. And then they'll be champions.
So again, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but I think when you're looking at team, you said there was one or two teams from AEW who have recently, I think you said, made the jump to NXT, right?
Impact.
Or was that from Impact? From Impact.
One team.
So I think NXT has been this thing where you see some tag teams who are just in developmental, who aren't on TV yet, kind of get in the mix there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think isn't that what happened with the Street Profits?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
They were on this. I remember the Street Profits they were on the house show, I think, here in Riverside when I saw them, and I had heard of them before. I think they were trying to do solo stuff. They kind of found their own as a tag team, kind of developed into what they are now. So I honestly don't know is my answer. I don't know. I think it's going to be a team we're not expecting. Hasn't the tag team division kind of taken a hit recently? I know one wasn't Slapjack in a tag team, and then he's now in that group.
Yes. Well, they've got the grizzled young veterans now from NXT UK.
Okay.
Killian Dane, and what's the name? Drake Maverick.
Yeah.
We've got Everrise.
Oh, and so the UK group is the one you're talking about, is the one that was with
Imperium. Imperium's there.
No. Well, who's the one who was there with McAfee?
Oh, Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. So they're current champions.
Okay, so they're in the current champions. So they're in the mix for that then. Okay.
Breezango's there. So the tag divisions are doing all right.
I'll go with Breezango, and I know they're going to be in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. Obviously, I'll get familiar with these tag teams as the Dusty Rhodes Classic kind of starts up, and again, I think the Dusty Rhodes Classic is a good launching point to you'll get some random tag teams put together. They make runs. Sometimes it doesn't turn out very well. I think that's what happened with Samoa Joe and Finn.
They won it,
and then they it started a feud, right? Yeah. So I think you might see some tag teams kind of start up from that, and we'll see where it goes. But Breezango might be a good option, assuming one of them doesn't get hurt. So
NXT Women's Champion. I've got Candice LeRae.
NXT Women's Champion. Not Rhea Ripley. I want to say Raquel Gonzalez, but I don't know if Raquel will be there long enough because I think she's kind of taller. She's like almost like Rhea Ripley in a way, just from a size standpoint.
Taller.
She's taller. Okay, so maybe she's not even around then. But for now, I'll go with Raquel Gonzalez, or maybe Chauncey. Everyone's high on Chauncey. We'll see. Shotzi, whatever.
We'll assume Shotzi's your favorite, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, that or Bianca Belair. Either two are perfectly fine for that belt.
Maybe Bianca goes down, but I think we have bigger plans for Bianca this year.
All right. NXT North American Champion, I've got Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly, of course you do. This is for the NXT
North American
Champion. I can see that. You kind of build him up. You kind of have him in some matches. We know he can do great work, so I think he gets rewarded at some point. Maybe they keep him around in the that main event top of the card status for a while, and then maybe when he's they need to kind of bring some other guys in that mix, maybe he does go down to the North American title scene. So I can see that. I'm okay with that. I don't think I had anyone. You know what? I had Ciampa in that, to be honest.
Okay.
Just someone who's gonna, he's kind of one of those guys who's been very clear about wanting to stay in NXT, not really moving up to the main roster, just so he doesn't get lost in the shuffle. I can see him getting a title at some point, maybe again not in the world title scene, but I think he may get the North American title at some point this year. for these predictions. I think he gets it at the end of the year.
NXT champion.
Who do I have on my list? I had Karrion Kross. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets moved up earlier. I can see Karrion winning the title rather soon here and holding it throughout the end of the year. That seems to be kind of a thing. We don't have a lot of quick title changes when it comes to the NXT championship, as far as I can remember. Not anything rather recent, right?
Mhm.
And, well, there has been some change, but they have some solid runs though.
Mhm.
So I think if Karrion, no matter when Karrion wins it, I think he'll have it at the end of the year. Rob Van Dam?
Adam Cole.
Oh, I thought you were saying Rob Van Dam. I was
No.
like, what do you know that I don't?
Come on. No.
You think
Adam Cole.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree with you, and I'll tell you why
That's
in a little
fine.
bit.
That's fine. That's okay.
I'll tell you why in a little bit.
We're gonna move up to Raw, SmackDown.
Okay.
Women's Tag Team Champions.
This one was hard. You know what? I was gonna go with like something random, like Natty, Natalia, and like somebody else. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just one of those things where they always throw someone with Natty and they try to make it work.
Yeah.
But I have the Iconics down on this one. Were we talking about SmackDown?
It's both
Or
brands.
it's both brands. That's right. Yeah, I have the Iconics. I don't know. Again, this is one of those things where you can just see Asuka and someone just thrown together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's what we've seen recently. But I think the Iconics, they're trying the Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce thing. Is that who?
Mhm.
That's yeah. So I think we see a full circle moment, and we get something on the resume there for the Iconics once again as a unit.
So. I hope so. Rob has Shotzi and Bianca, as he put in the chat. Okay. I've got the Riot Squad.
Yeah.
Sooner.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like, where are they going with them? What is the they're running them now is the thing for me. You notice there's a lot of run with people, but then they'll just stop even if they don't win the champ. So are they going to be a tag team still by then? Who knows?
I think
but
so.
I'm not against it. I mean, it's not like one of them getting into the singles main card status anytime or main event status soon. But
SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I've got Cesaro and Nakamura.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
Just
think they're not gonna split them up.
I have the New Day just because, and by New Day I guess I mean Kofi and, or they're on Raw, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're on Raw. Okay.
They could get drafted again.
No, wait. But the Usos are on SmackDown, right? So I have them mixed up.
Okay.
So I have the Usos winning the tag team titles for SmackDown, and I have the New Day just because I think they're a team that's going to have some consistency and be around long term. I think they'll win the Raw tag team champion. So there's my 2 tag team title predictions.
Rob?
I think Street Profits are going to dominate for a while.
I think, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're saying SmackDown or Raw tag team titles for them? They're on SmackDown right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now, SmackDown.
I don't think there's going to be a draft again, so it would.
Yeah. The Hurt Business.
The Hurt Business for Raw. They're currently the tag team champions there. So you think they'll probably just either win them back or keep them? Or I would assume probably win them back. I don't think we'll see a title reign. I've got The Miz and John Morrison for Raw tag team title.
For The Miz, and you think they're going to be partners that long? I mean, they can. I'm not saying they wouldn't be, but okay.
Intercontinental Champion. I've got Sami Zayn winning the title back by the end of the year.
Ew, what's wrong with you?
He's a true hero.
He's kind of, he didn't do anything for me. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong.
He was quite entertaining.
I just haven't seen him consistent. I talked about it before. He just never was really consistent. I mean, this is the most consistent I've seen him since he's been on the main card. Just as far as not getting hurt, not disappearing, or whatever. I have for the Intercontinental Champion, or is it, or whatever? I don't know. Rob Van Dam, no. Adam Cole. I have get into the main card status. Maybe not into the title picture right away, but I think they're going to have to do something with Adam Cole. And I think, they're just the Undisputed Era. They're weighing him down. They're terrible. They're terrible. So I think it's time for Adam Cole to go on his own and win the Intercontinental title.
He'll win the title in the group.
Because you're looking at workers here. You're looking at workers.
Right.
And I think Adam Cole is a good worker. I think he'll get the title.
Rob?
I think that they're going to benefit. The Usos are going to benefit from having Paul Heyman, and it's time that one of them has singles belt, even if they have to Freebird style.
They're not going to Freebird it. That's for sure. But I think, oh boy, what is Jay's the one who's getting the run right now? He's going to be the one who would get the singles title, I think, if anybody. I wouldn't be surprised. I think maybe he wins it a little bit sooner than the end of the year, just because of, the run he's kind of had recently. But I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the year if he's in the mix again, whether he loses it or still has it or whatever. But, yeah, I think Jay can be in that mix. That's fair.
And United States champion, I've got AJ Styles.
AJ's good. Maybe I can't even think what show Shinsuke's on, but I think maybe if you want to try and build him up, get some credibility on someone again, maybe Shinsuke is someone you can kind of put the title on him. Maybe who did I have? I had someone different. We're talking UK or not UK, United States. I had Elias. Maybe just they do something with him. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Maybe in between albums or something.
Yeah, same between tours.
Between tours and songs, maybe they put it on him. Who knows?
Rob?
Is Ray over there?
Who?
He's on SmackDown.
Oh, on SmackDown.
Who did he say? Ray?
Ray. He could be drafted. That's
good. Maybe Diego, or not Diego. What is his name? Dominic.
Dominic. Okay.
I think Dominic can be in that mix. You know what? We talked about cruiserweights earlier. Maybe Dominic gets that. Who knows?
Maybe. Raw Women's Champion.
Raw Women's Champion. Is Bianca on Raw or SmackDown? But the draft still has me, so she's on SmackDown. So I'll go Rhea Ripley on Raw then.
Good choice. I think that's a solid choice.
I think that's where I think Rhea, when she does finish her NXT run, does come up and is on Raw.
Rob?
Naomi.
Okay.
You need to see her return, but yeah. I've got Becky Lynch.
Okay. I can see that by the end of the year, yeah.
She's going to return. She's going to win the title back.
I can see that. I think Becky Lynch is a good option as well. Didn't consider that, so that does change things. I think Rob with Naomi, I think so, but maybe on SmackDown. I know the Usos are on Raw, right? So, no, they're on SmackDown too. So, I think maybe you do see Naomi on SmackDown and getting some gold there. I have, I said Rhea for Raw, right? So is Bianca's on SmackDown? I think Bianca's in that mix as well. I think a lot of people have her as a favorite, or at least a strong option to win the Royal Rumble this year. We'll see. I think Bianca can be in that mix, but I think Becky, like you said, I forgot about Becky. I think Becky does kind of change that game a minute, or change things there. But you also can't forget that Charlotte and Sasha are still hanging around, and Asuka as well. It's pretty deep women's division all around, no matter what show. So things can happen quickly.
I've got Bianca Belair as well for SmackDown Women's Champion. Rob, who do you have?
Sasha.
Okay.
Universal
and Bailey
Champion.
as well. Don't forget about Bailey. Okay, go
Universal Championship.
Bailey. No, I'm kidding. Universal title is on SmackDown, correct? So I think, we have Big E as a favorite or potential winner of the Royal Rumble. Assuming they go through with that, I would like to think maybe they put a big run together for Big E. And I think he does have the Universal title at the end of the year. Maybe he's chasing it throughout the year. But I think we do see Big E win the championship at some point this year, for the sake of these predictions at the end of the year.
Rob?
Right now they're on separate shows, right? Xavier.
Yes. Right.
I feel like Xavier needs a shot.
I don't think so. Only because he's doing the G4 TV deal. He's doing the video game hosting, and I just don't see him getting out of the tag. I like Xavier. I think he's great, but they didn't use him very much when the three of them were together. So I just don't see him breaking out. I think Kofi may have a realistic chance, maybe if anybody from the tag team. But as much as I want to see Xavier win it, I just don't I don't see it.
I've got Roman Reigns, our tribal chief.
I think Roman Reigns, yeah, that's a good option as well. I mean, wouldn't be against it. Yeah, sure.
WWE champion. This is the last one. Rob, who do you have?
Now, there's a specific rivalry I want for this one.
Okay.
Samoa Joe and AJ Styles.
We saw this like 2 years ago.
No, for the belt, the main belt.
We saw this for like 2 years ago.
I honestly
it was for the same belt.
I honestly don't. I don't remember it.
Bigger
It's the
pay-per-view.
one with the wife. Yeah, they got the wife involved. Okay, I remember it now. Sure. I mean, I think that can happen if Samoa Joe comes back.
Yeah.
So who wins the rivalry?
Who closes out the year as champion? Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can kind of see
James?
that. I wouldn't be against it. Not Goldberg, that's for sure. No. We're gonna get Brock back at some point. I don't know what Brock's contract is, but dang well if he's coming back, he might be in the Rumble. But if Brock's coming back, Brock's not coming back just to win the Intercontinental title. So I think he's gonna end the year as a champion.
I said this a few weeks back, and I'll repeat it. Edge is going to win the WWE Championship by the end of the year, or have it.
I think, yeah. I mean, it's possible. Again, I think, as I said the last time you said that, I just don't think he's going to have it at the end of the year. Maybe he'll have it at the Royal Rumble next year. Maybe he'll have it winning it at the Royal Rumble next year, winning it at WrestleMania next year, but not this year.
Okay.
He could win it this year, but not at the end of the year.
Okay. We're going to look back at this episode roughly a year from now, maybe a little sooner.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be
100%.
100%.
We're gonna discuss, and next year we'll be better prepared. We'll all know exactly everyone on the roster. Right? We're gonna watch everything.
Maybe you'll have one username.
No, that's not gonna happen. All right. Until next time, this has been episode 125 of Beyond the Ropes. I don't know. This episode's been too sweet.
Kind of sweet.
Can we do that? Yeah.
Yeah, as long as Undisputed Era is around, yeah. Too sweet. All right, guys. Have a good one.